So how do we strike now? So if you see most people, where did you learn to fight? Where did we learn to fight, didn't we? Where did we learn to fight? School, sports, boxing, and a lot of people kind of have this idea of punching. We watch MMA and we watch the boxing, and you see punching, and yeah, that certainly it can work. But what I want everybody to do is just come over here to the wall for a second, please. Everybody, just come over here. I'm going to look for a volunteer now in a second, right? Okay, so come in closer, because I'm going to need a volunteer. All right. Hate this bit. I hate this bit. Okay, so what I want now is for someone to punch the wall. Punch the wall. Punch the wall as hard as I just hit it there. Okay, this is obviously a smart class because no one set up to punch the wall. Right? Why, if you did go to punch the wall, I wouldn't let you, unless I didn't like you. Okay, but assuming I liked you, I wouldn't let you. Why wouldn't I let you? Because you're going to break your hand. So this is something that most people don't understand. So if they think about punching, and we see this glamorous kind of sense of the magic punch, the sweet Rocky type punch. But if you ever watch even most boxing matches, there's an awful lot of missing going on. There's an awful lot of bad punches landing. And remember, people who box, and again, I'm not in any way dissing these guys. These are superb athletes. It's the people who train very, very hard. But that's who they are. Yeah. Athletes. Right? These guys train. They wear gear, and they condition and they oil their hands, and then they wear wraps and they wear gloves, and they have a different intent. You know what I mean? They're a different intent. So basically, if you think about landing a punch, there's so much you've got to do into land. You got to make that fist properly. You got to get that thumb into the right place, and then you got to make sure that you deliver it properly. You got to make sure that your wrist is aligned. And again, if you wrap it out, that's all there to help you stay that. And then you got to make sure that you hit with the right knuckles, that you hit with the right part. And then with all those knuckles, and then that well delivered wrist, and all that thing, then you've got to make sure you hit them somewhere that actually gives you a result. And at the same time, you've got to deal with the fact that this is bones and gristle. And there's not much difference, no insult intended to John, between landing on that and landing on that. Okay? So it's all very well to have that magic answer. Why throw a punch and John just tucks his head? Boom! Like you're dealing with a very, very different scenario. The other thing you do is you end up landing that punch wrong. You know, you hit it half-assed. And so there's an awful lot to get right to actually get a punch. So what we're going to do, you punch Thomas. He's just going to look at you and go, "Is that all you got?" Is that what you call a punch, isn't he? Look. So basically, all I know about Thomas, he's tough, and I wouldn't punch him when I punch him. He just tense up and take it, no problem. All right. So basically, what we got is we don't like to punch. Everybody take their hand. Everybody take their hand. And what you're going to do is take the heel of your hand, and then take the heel of your hand and hit your head. Now take the heel of your hand and put it on your nose. Okay, so what we're going to do, if we have to strike someone, we're not going to punch. We're not at the beginning. We are going to slam in with open hand strike in towards the nose area. That's basically our goal. Am I going to go, listen, I don't want any trouble. He keeps coming, bam, open hand strike. I'm going against the wall and give us a big smile, Thomas. And we're going to basically have a look at this open hand strike and see what you think. What do you think is going to happen if that lands on a nose? What do you think is going to happen? It's going to be messy, isn't it? It's certainly going to be messy. Okay, just come off the wall there for a second. It's going to be messy. Come in here, boom. It's going to be messy. It's going to, anyone ever got hit in the nose playing a sport? Yeah, what happens? Eyes water, you're attacking the nervous system, you can't breathe. Like all of that. So when you get attacked in the nose, it actually attacks your nervous system. When you attack somebody's stomach, their jaw, if they're tense, you're just attacking the skeleton system. So we attack the nervous system, you can't put muscles on the nervous system. And what we do is we push off our back foot. We push off our back foot. And we keep our elbow tight where we have already. And now we drive it in. Drive it in. Okay, so everybody face the mirror with me. As everybody put the left foot forward just for the moment we're training. And put your hand out like a stop. As much as you can. And you want to emphasize the heel of the hand, okay? Now I want you to turn your hip and reach as far as you can. So I want you on the ball of your toe, yeah? Reaching with that hand as far as you can. So that's where you want to end up. The idea is from here, we then want to reach out and turn. Okay, now the power actually starts in your foot. Most people start the energy for a punch in the shoulder, which basically gives it a lot of indicators and gives it a mile. We're going to turn off from our foot. So everybody do it with me. So what you're going to do is you're going to sharply push off your big toe, and you're going to turn your knee in. And that's all we're going to do, just turn your knee in. So the idea is here, you're moving off your foot. That's a sharp. And now you got this energy coming through your body, Now our hands are up. So with this energy, we're going to turn, and then we're going to make sure our elbows are on our ribs as if we were holding a newspaper underneath our arm. And then we turn and we project that hand forward. And we turn right into it. So we have our hands up. Sorry, dude, I don't want any trouble. Have your hands up. Now you find yourself, you're having to strike and strive forward. The way to think about this is you kick this off your big toe. So think about your body as you're delivering a weapon. You're delivering a projectile. So your hand is the bullet. Your hand is the bullet. Your body is the barrel. Your big toe is the firing pin. So your firing pin that comes through, turning the knee in, the hip is dropping, you're creating a hydraulic energy, and the hand drives out. It's great if I get my footwork in. Brilliant, but you know what? Even if I don't get my footwork in, the open hand strike is going to give me something. With a partner, you're going to practice. Now, the most important thing you're going to practice here is proper technique for the moment. So I want to see you connecting with the right part of the hand. So the part of the hand, we want to make a hand almost like we're holding a watermelon or like a pineapple. And we want to think about the pad of the hand. The pad of the hand. And what we want to do is to connect the pad of this hand. And our target area is the nose. That's our target area. Our target area is the nose, okay? That's the spot we're going for at the moment. So your hands are up. So what happens if I'm here, I don't want any trouble. He doesn't even throw a punch, he just grabs me. I strike. I'm going to strike. Emphasize kicking off from your big toe, turning that hip in, and then hitting the pad. And here's where the hard part is I only want you to hit with 10% of your power. The biggest mistake people make when they're learning something. Do you ever see guys who've never played golf before in their life? Ever seen that? Yeah. They've never played golf before and they go out to the driving range. They've never hit a golf ball in their life. What is the first club they're going to get? They're going to get the Big Bertha, aren't they? But they're not just going to get the Big Bertha. They're going to get the Big Bertha double X platinum, aren't they? And they're going to weigh it up in their hand, aren't they? And then they're going to whack that fucker. And where's the ball? Totally safe, because you never hit it. The only people who are in trouble are the people beside them and behind them. Okay. You're going to start at 10%, do it 5 to 10 times each, switch, then bring it up to 10%, then bring it up to 20%, switch, then bring it up to 30%, and keep switching, bringing it up to around 70-80% for training at the moment is enough. So remember, adding it up, increasing the level of power, Let's bring up the power. Do you know what I've found in training? It's very easy to hit a static pad. It's very easy to hit a pad with a target on it with a white dot there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this together. I'm going to approach Maria, and I'm going to hide the pad now. I'm going to hide the pad. And I'm going to go up to her and I'm going to go, hey, you doing there? Hey, what's the story? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right, so now we're going to, that was a good one. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a hand, I'm going to, hey, you doing there, young lady? How you doing? Hey, listen, I'm going to a dance later on. Do you want to come with me? Come on. Okay, so here's what you're going to do now. You're going to go in and engage with your partner. You're going to try and distract them. Hey, how's it going? Okay. What's your favorite, Tuesdays or tomatoes? All right. And what you're going to try to do is distract them. And you're going to go, like, Chenzi, how you doing? Come on, how you doing, Chens?
Good.
Yeah, you on holidays?
No.
You were on holidays?
No, I don't.
Why are you lying to me?
No.
Okay, so I want you to go in and have fun with this, yeah? All right, okay. Who was a bit disappointed with themselves? To be honest with you, on the first strike, yeah? Yeah, you're being unrealistic. You're holding yourself to the wrong level. You know, the problem is you think it needs to be clean. You think it needs to be expert. You think, but the reality of it is a real fight, a real violence is scary, is nasty. There's all sorts of chemicals going through your body. You're in an environment that could be slipped. You could have had a beer. Like you could be sick, anything. It's the real world. So sometimes we hold ourselves to too high of a fantasy level. Okay, the reality of it is, the very fact that when someone gives you a fright, you act, you are already operating on another level. No, that's just our first strike. It's a fright strike. Now, if I go and I give Maria a fright and she just puts her hand in towards my face, and the shot may not go as well as you like. It may not land sweetly. It may not, but instead of like, because it's not a punch, because it's an open hand strike, she gets this wrong. Look what happens. It goes into my eye. She gets her nails into my eye. She even scratches me with her face. She hits me underneath the jawline. So from here, that fright strike, because it's an open hand strike, it gives them much more options for catching. Some scenarios that could work, you know, you could be, the guy gets you get a hand in, and that's enough to deter him and to allow you to escape. Fantastic. Okay, and it's got you in, you got into the mindset, distracted them, you know, showing them that you're not going to be an easy victim, and maybe you can escape. And if with that, that gives you the space to escape, fantastic. Run like hell, get to reinforcements, the police, whatever, get to a weapon. Remember, the first goal of self-defense all the time is preventative. Second goal is escape. Escape, that's the purpose of self-defense. You know, I throw one strike, so it could be enough to give escape, but sometimes, and oftentimes it might be enough. So what'll I do? So the truth is, I wouldn't rely on one strike. What I would be doing, I'd be going in, and I'd be pumping in, I'd be pumping in. And this is something I learned, believe it or not, from Bruce Lee. And as part of my training, I've trained in Jeet Kune Do. And Bruce Lee a developed concept called, and it's used by other systems, but Bruce Lee called blasting. Blasting is you fucking drive in, and what you're going to do is take forward momentum, drive them back. And we're going to drive forward with our open hand. Now think about what's actually happening. You're pumping with your lead hand. You're driving in. Maybe you're capturing the nose, but maybe you hit the nose one moment. Next time you hit the jaw and you're going underneath the jaw. Maybe think about what you're attacking. You're attacking the nose, maybe catching the throat, you may be catching the ear, maybe catching the eye. All of these are the senses. And this time what we're going to do is the pad comes up, we're going to do 3 strikes. And we're also going to drive forward. So the pad, he hides the pad, he presents the pad, I strike. 3 strikes. Okay, go. So this time we're going to bring it up to 6 strikes. 6 strikes. And I present it, and I want hard, pumping, driving back. And I'm going up and 6 strikes. I think that was 7. Anyway. Let's do it again. She's going to pump them and pump them in, right? It's all very easy when somebody's standing in front of you, giving it a pad. Now we're going to move around. Don't be looking. Okay, I'm going to move around now. I'm going to tap her. A bit slow there, wasn't she? A bit slow, yeah? I want you orientating and hitting the pad 10 times. Hard. So what you're going to do now, when you're waiting to be attacked, is you're going to close your eyes. Now, of course, I'm not suggesting you walk around the street with your eyes closed. But what we're actually just trying to do is to give you a little bit of surprise and almost often, to be very frank, a little bit of fear. So I'm going to move around and your eyes are closed. And when you get attacked, you're going to turn around and you're going to blast into that pad. When you get tapped and you feel a tap, you open your eyes and attack where that tap came from. If you hold, oftentimes a mistake people make is they'll hold their breath. So make sure to shout when you're doing this. Even if you just go, ah! Even if you just do that. But at least makes you breathe, okay? And obviously gives them a fright as well. Okay, so let's go. The final drill for this module is to get home the whole idea of blasting. blasting, and we're very different. Where this is not a thing where we just swap digs, or swap punches. We want to be driving forward. Remember, our job is to go home. Our job is to get away. If we could run away or escape or there's an exit, we would have taken it. But we're faced with the only way out is through them. We got to blast through them. We got to get in there and attack and make them want to get off it, get away from us, okay? Please, along with your back to the mirror, and the guy with the pad is on the outside. When I say go, you're going to hold that pad. You are going to blast that pad all the way across. You're going to drive them all the way to the wall. All the way to the wall. Go! Okay, so we've been looking at, facing me please. So we've been looking at it, we have to attack and using our palms, and we've started to use our knees, but we haven't really yet learned how to execute a knee effectively or to the maximum effects. So that's what we're going to talk about now. So if you're attacking up here, this is a great time for you as you get close to drive your knee into the area. Now, we want to deliver our knees in a certain way. One of the things you need to understand and address is that the groin is a hard target to hit in a real fight, particularly with a knee. And people are going to maybe even just move to protect themselves, just turn their leg in to protect, or just pull back. So we want to deliver a knee in such a way that it actually doesn't matter where we hit him. So John is going to basically hold this so I can look at executing a knee. Now when we execute knees, we want to execute them with power. We're not drive our way in. Okay? We want to, so basically we want to step and we really want to drive that knee in. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, Chenzi, I want to just talk you through this. So you want to just face that pad, please. And what I want him to do is to step forward here, and I want him to drive that knee in really hard. Go and just drive it in. I want you to go full force now. Drive it in. So, boom. Yeah. So we're looking for like, and he's going to step and he's going to drive. Boom. Now the thing that you'll notice about what Shenzi is doing with that knee is he's kneeing on a low line. He's not going high. The biggest mistake that people make is they knee too high. Just face him. They knee too high and they bring the knee right up. And they lose all the energy. What we actually want to do is to knee at the low line. So the secret is your toe. See, his toe is pointing down. Because what that means is that your toe is pointing down. It means your knee is on the low line. Now, when I go with that knee, boom, yeah, I get the groin. But what gets really, really cool is if John turns his leg in to protect, and now I smash, boom, that knee. That attack goes into the leg. And this is a whole, if you have a look at his face while I just give him a rub here. Yeah, there's a whole fascia of nerves all the way here. Right? That if you get, anyone ever get hit there? Anyone ever get hit there? So when you basically knee there, you're attacking a whole fascia of nerves, okay? So I face him, then he either turns that in, and I'm going, sweet! Like, that's a great way. I knee him there a couple of times. He ain't going to be chasing me. The other line of it is, if I do get the groin, sweet, but even if I go offline, I hit that leg, I'm going to hyperextend the leg. So a secret to how we deliver knees is we deliver them on a low line. And we have our hands up, and what we're going to do is we're going to have done a few palm strikes, and now we deliver a knee, but we deliver a knee on a low line. And what we want to do to deliver a knee is we want to push through on a hip. Your toe is pointing to the ground. That's how you know you're on the right line. And the target area, that's your target from here to here. You catch the hip, so I come in. There's no point kneeing high. And the great thing about legs is they're hard to miss. If you go attacking the groin, the guy's going to be shifting, turning his leg. But if you are attacking the legs, like if they're within range, the legs are in range of your knees. Okay? So what we're going to do is you're going to grab a pad with a partner. And you're literally just going to practice delivering that knee. Delivering that knee on a low line. What I really want to see you doing as well is I want you to step through on that knee. I want you to step through. We don't hold back. We step through on the knee. It's a crashing knee. And go. Boom. And step more aggressively through, John. I really want you to stepping right into him. Go much more better. So let's see us stepping in, stepping forward. So it's essential we blast. We don't stand back. We step forward. We always drive forward. John's going to come back to one knee, execute one knee. Boom. And then he's going to go with another. And then he's going to go in another, and then he's going to go in another, and he's going to blast in and keep pumping those knees in. Now we're going to put the whole lot together. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drill myself, driving in with palm strikes first. Then I'm going to drag the pad down, and I'm going to drive in with knees. So we're starting to change height now. So we're going in with palms, then we're dropping knees. So we're going to start now pumping palms, and then we're going to start driving knees in. And the idea here is we're changing weapons and we're changing height, creating confusion. So let's go palms, then bring the pad down, that's your job, and drive in with at least 3 knees. Go! So now what I want you to do, what's going to happen now, Chenzi is going to circle John, and then he's going to give him a tap of the pad, and John's going to attack that pad with palms and knees. Palms and knees. So you're going to circle, let's look at the drill again, circle, and I'm looking for speed, aggression. You get tapped, bam, 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 elbows, knees. So palms and knees. So circle your partner, give them a knock, eyes are open at this point, and get on that pad and attack as quick as you can. Go! This time when you're waiting to be attacked, your eyes are closed. So your eyes are closed now. Open up your eyes then. Open up your eyes. Open up your eyes. Come on. Pumping those knees faster. Come on. Faster in those knees. Pump them faster. That's much better. That's much better. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to really, really bring you up a level. So what's going to happen is there's somebody in the middle. John's in the middle, but here's what's actually going to happen. John's job is to beat the living daylights out of his pad, simulating attacking an opponent. Stephen's job is to save the pad. So how Stephen saves the pad is he puts headlocks onto John, or he puts grabs on, or he grabs an arm as pinned, or he comes in and grabs him from the front. He does all the grabs, we know, or he grabs his arm and tries to pull him away. But what John does, here's the thing, John doesn't give a frig about the technique. What does John care about? He cares about the pad. He cares about blasting. That's what he cares about. So here's how I want you to think. The techniques, I know you get no medals for doing techniques. You get no medals. It's not the Olympic, it's self-defense training, right? Your job is to beat the pad. Techniques are obstacles. There are things you must overcome. And they might be like a hurdle race where you have to go over a number of obstacles to get to the end. Here we go. Come on! Come on! So module 7 is all about a new weapon, a new close quarter weapon, and we're going to look at using elbows. And elbows serve a number of different purposes when we're fighting. So we've looked at how our blasting idea, and we've looked at using our palm strikes, and as we get close, we've got eye strikes, and we've got our knees, and our knees are attacking low line, maybe attacking the groin, but attacking their legs, and hyperextending. So you've got this really nice alternating of weapons and mixing up height. So, and then all of these moves are all going forward moves. And it's very hard to hit somebody when you are going backwards. It's very hard to generate the energy, and that is one of our core concepts, is to blast forward. So basically, you're putting them on the back foot, which means if they're attacking, they're swinging, and they're getting no real energy. And really what you're looking about, and it's very hard to go back fast, maybe 5 or 6 steps before you fall. And down we go. So we want to add a new weapon in here. So we've been looking at palms, and we've been looking at knees, but you get really close. So there's a kind of new weapon for here, and that is going to be elbows. Like we've been using our elbows as defensively as escapes, or for dealing with grabs. Now we're going to use our weapons offensively. So the basic idea I want you to work off here is very simple. It's going to go with palms, And then the first elbow we're going to do is, it's got a very technical name. It's called the Dracula elbow. So what we're going to do is go 1, 2, boom, elbow. And can anyone tell me why it's called the Dracula elbow? It's the Dracula elbow. And so basically what you're going to do is 1, 2. Now this elbow is very different. You might catch them like that, but this elbow can also be a stabbing elbow. Almost like a spear. So you go 1, 2, boom. And what you want to do is you want to get your chin into that elbow. And the big idea here is as I palm, I'm going to tuck my chin now as I attack. And tell me what's happening. Anyone tell me what's going on because I tuck my chin? My jawline. So if John tries to come around and hit me, I've got a shorter range to get to the target, and he's going around, but he might catch me at the top of the head, but that's just going to annoy me, to be honest with you. Where if he caught me with my neck loose, boom, and I got whiplash effect, then he's going to do some damage. But I'm going to tuck my chin now, I'm going to drive forward, and then as I move forward, I'm going to come in with that elbow. Now, I'll either get that elbow as a stabbing elbow, which you can get to the sternum or the throat or the face, or I'll catch it as a slashing elbow. My preference is the stabbing elbow. I think it does more damage, but we'll take whichever one lands. So the idea is palm, palm, elbow. That's a slashing elbow, or palm, palm, stabbing. Your partner's going to hold a pad for you, and you're going to practice palm, palm, elbow. Palm, palm, elbow. Palm, palm, elbow. And it's a good idea sometimes. Our striking is very simple. Palms, elbows, knees. And really all you have are hands, elbows, knees. We got head and teeth. They're the weapons. People complicate this too much, trying to do fancy uppercuts and hooks. For the purpose of self-defense, blasting is what we focus on for a couple of main reasons. One, it's quick to learn. Secondly, it's easy to remember. And thirdly, it tightens you up. And blasting in itself is a defensive mechanism. We're going to drive forward. We're going to keep our chin tucked. And then as we go forward, we're going to drive forward that elbow so that our chin is inside the elbow. And that means that our face is being protected by our weapon. Attack. And you also want to see this as a stabbing attack. Driving that elbow into them, driving them back. So the target areas for this elbow are straight into the throat. It could be into the sternum, into the face, or you might catch them with a slashing elbow. So let's go one more time. You go palm, palm, stabbing elbow. Really, really making sure your chin is tucked into that. Let's go, work that please, let's go. Let's go, David, Angie, go. Grab a pad with a partner, go. So we've got the first elbow going on. We got the first elbow going on. So we got palm, palm, elbow. Now we want to bring the second elbow into play. And this elbow is a diagonal attacking elbow. So we're going to go palm, palm, elbow. Then we're going to go down with that elbow. Really, really drive down. And what we're looking to do is to attack the head like here. Driving it down into the body, creating pressure on the neck, trauma on the head. Okay, so your hands are up, your palm, palm, elbow, elbow. Your hands are up, palm, palm, elbow, elbow. So the idea is palm, palm, elbow, elbow, palm, palm, elbow, elbow. And your idea is that your attack is your defense. So everybody face the mirror with me, please. And palm, palm. Elbow, elbow, and that elbow, that second elbow, we're going to turn our hip like we turn for a palm strike, and we're going to let that elbow come almost like a swim stroke, and down. So the elbow's going to come down. So we have palm, palm, stabbing elbow, diagonal elbow. Now look what your body, tell me what part of your body wants to go next. The knee now wants to go. So we're setting the whole thing up. I really want you to emphasize the tucking of the chin. You remember, we're not sparring. We're not in a boxing ring. We're not in an octagon. We don't want to be where we are. Somebody who's in the boxing ring has chosen to be in the boxing ring. Someone who's not, we don't want to be where we are. So we're going to blast to escape. And what we're going to do is palm, palm, elbow, elbow, bring our knees in then. So we're going to go palm, palm, elbow, elbow, bring your knees in. Palm, palm, elbow, elbow, knees. I'm just letting, almost like one of those, do you ever see those tunneling devices they use to carve through mountains, so to make tunnels, yeah? So that's what we're like. We're carving, we're blasting, and we're changing height and alternating weapons. So the guy has absolutely no idea what's going on. So going palms, elbows, knees. Okay, so let's face the mirror with me again. So it's palm, palm, elbow, elbow, knee, knee, palm, palm, elbow, elbow, knee, palm, palm, elbow, elbow, knee. So just carving. I want you to practice palm, palm, elbow, elbow, knees, all with the partner. Go. Come on, let's go. Okay, guys, everybody line up, please. And I want the person without the pad behind the mirror, with their back to the mirror, the person with the pad facing them. So grab a kick shield. Grab a kick shield. The person who has not got the pad as the back, the person with the pad. So get ready and get right in close to your partner. Get right in close to your partner. And what I want you to do now is I want you to blast with palms and elbows and knees all the way across that room, driving them back. And when you get to that wall, what do?
Continue smashing.
You keep going. So get ready. Go! With a huge amount of work done. But what I'm after here now is this big idea. People get so caught up in throwing punches. They get so caught up in ducking and diving and intercepting. And all those things, they're good skills, but they take a long, long, long time to learn. And our job is to keep you around. So if you want to build those skills, absolutely. But that's going to take you time. Anybody, it's going to take anyone time to build those skills. And our job, remember, is to teach you stuff we can teach you in 24 hours. So you have the skills to stay alive. So what we're going to do now, we have a very different strategy. We're not sparrers. We are going to blast. So we're going to tuck our chin. And we drive, and we use our elbows. And if I get close, I can use the thumbs into the eyes, and use my knees, and just blasting. And really, really, by tightening your chin, by focusing on escape, by using your palms and your elbows and driving forward, you really, really, to an awful lot of people, this is very, very scary. If a guy's used to boxing and he's got you're coming at me, and you're coming at me blasting. I'm a boxer and I'm trying to fucking box somebody who's fucking blasting at me. And then sometimes people ask me, I'll do it to you. Sometimes people ask me, but I'm doing this, and what if he sidesteps? I say, keep fucking going. You know, it's not a sparring match. You're not in a ring. Your job is to escape. You blast through your opponent to get home. Okay, well done, everybody. Let's go.